On today's show, in the world of wildlife art, they call themselves the Mountain Men, perhaps because they paint near the top of the world of wildlife artistry. We'll watch the brushes fly.
Time to fish.
Next, the latest in ice fishing gear that makes winter angling cozy and comfortable. Time for more outdoor safety advice from the experts at Hennepin County Medical Center. Topic, how to avoid a silent killer, carbon monoxide poisoning.
Oh, look at all the minnows.
And our Minnesota-bound classic this week heads to Grand Bahama Island, where the bonefish lurk in aqua waters and the living is easy. Those stories and more, next.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers.
Hi, everybody. Raven and I welcome you to the show. Our first story is about three very talented artists who bring wildlife to the canvas like no others, and they call themselves the Mountain Men.
Those are originals, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a rendition of painting by the numbers.
Some of the things I've done here, this is just a pure, landscape, a piece that's a giclée on canvas. The rough grouse piece here, the moose up there, something of mine.
Wisconsin artist Scott Zolik is the center of a menagerie of wildlife, all created in his mind and brought to life with his hands.
Jerry at this show is probably the most represented because he always has a body of new originals.
Jerry?
All my paintings are done 100% freehand airbrush.
Jerry is Jerry Gadamus, a wildlife artist with a different look.
Everything you see on here is 100% freehand. I just enjoy doing it.
Look closely, you'll see another artist name on display, Don Klotsky. Three wildlife artists in the same exhibition space at Pheasant Fest? What's that about?
Scott Zolik, Don Klotsky, and myself, we've pretty much been from day one in our printing business together.
There's a lot of different stuff,
So when Scott created
some of
an
these
art
literature
publishing
we may be
company,
out.
Thunder Mountain Press, in 1992, the three artistic friends called themselves the Mountain Men.
Emmy Lou, you want to go hunting?
Okay, but how does it happen? How does a pheasant painting come to life? The first clue isn't far away.
Sounds like she's got one there. What girl? Heel. Pup. Well, she's a fun dog to watch. She's pretty animated and pretty in the field.
And pretty good at retrieving, too.
There's a beautiful ring neck. As they get closer through the winter towards spring, their colors will even get more vibrant.
Scott Zolik is not just another pretty picture painter. He's a hunter conservationist.
Scott Zolik, could you come up, please?
Scott's artwork has raised thousands of dollars for Pheasants Forever's Habitat program.
Scott Zolik's been a two-time National Artist of the Year for Pheasants Forever. He always does quality art. You know him as part of the Mountain Men.
And his list of awards is longer than a pheasant tail. A working dog, a flushing pheasant. Nobody sees these ordinary hunting scenes like an artist does.
What I see and do in the field, I got to take it home, back to the studio, and translate it into, put it on canvas.
Sit in his art studio and, well, paint.
Here's one of the birds we bagged today. So sometimes what I might do is start out with a broader brush, maybe imitate a little bit of that motion. While some of the flushes and stuff are still kind of fresh in your mind, sometimes it's nice to do a sketch. And with the specimen in your hand, I probably use this as much for detail as anything, and then how the different feathers, you know, go from one section to the next. Yeah, one thing with pheasants, when you're doing a rooster, you got such a full spectrum of colors.
Slowly, ever so slowly, Scott's artistic strokes bring the scene to life.
I love, on pheasants, watching when they rise out of whether it's corn or whatever cover they're in.
He's like a composer whose song is a painting.
I've been very fortunate that I've been able to make a living. At times good, at times not real good, but you're still doing what you enjoy.
Scott Zolik, Artist Supreme, and Emma, Springer Supreme. They think alike.
There you go.
When we return, today's winter angler need not suffer. A look at what's out there to keep you warm and fishing on the ice.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers. Renewal by Anderson, Connecticut, and by Rapala.
Hey, welcome back. You know, as a fisherman, one of the big changes I've seen over the years is in ice fishing. And that is, ice fishermen simply don't like to be miserable anymore. They have worked hard to be comfortable, and companies have developed ways to do just that. Bill Shirk has the story.
For die-hard ice anglers, that winter fishing itch needs to be scratched, even at 10 below zero. Raw weather hard on fishermen, tough on gear too.
The auger runs, and so does my nose.
On this bitterly cold winter day, we set up our fishing shop on a local lake named Pelican.
Go, bring us back something fun. Oh, time to fish.
Now, ice fishing comes with a standard set of rules. First,
Ooh. Ooh. Oh.
the big ones always seem to get away. But ice fishing's most basic rule may be this.
Tip up. Oh yeah.
When the fish bite,
Now it's going.
we just don't seem to notice the cold.
Oh, there he goes. He is not happy. Boy, that is a nice fish. There you go. What do you think? First fish. Did we get him back in? All right, see him. Thanks. What a nice fish.
But when the fishing slows down, seems the cold creeps in rather quickly. Thank goodness Frabill found a way to break the rules.
Oh my gosh. I just love it. Saved me last winter.
Frabill's newest ice shack packs on the wow factor.
Oh, there's the fish.
It's one of those deals that makes you say, man, why didn't I think of that? Now the whole story starts here on the campus of Minnesota's 3M company, building 235 to be exact.
This is where we do a lot of our laboratory testing.
3M produces a nifty product called Thinsulate. You know, that puffy insulation that goes into boots, gloves, coats, all the stuff that keeps us warm when the weather gets cold. Well, 3M still works to find new ways to use the stuff.
It's one of the best applications and been the simplest.
This is kind of like a sleeper.
Which takes us up the road a few miles to Matt Franta's canvas shop. In here, people work away their days, among other things, on covers for portable ice fishing shelters.
Quite a few years ago, a lot of our customers would come in and ask for, they were bringing blankets that they bought from Fleet Farm, and they would tuck them above the frame of their ice, inside their portable ice fishing house. So they asked us to tack in or sew in blankets on the inside of each of their houses, which we did.
One day, Matt thought, geez, why not just make the covers using insulated material? Ding, the idea was born. Matt teamed up with 3M to create Norpack. It's a special ice house material made with Thinsulate.
It's such a simple concept when you think about it. Why would you make anything non-insulated?
Now, after designing that cover, the crew wondered if it would actually work. So they got their hands on a refrigerated ice cream truck and turned down the temp a few degrees. At 10 below zero, they used infrared cameras to find an answer. They found older canvas shelters slowly bleed out all their heat. The Thinsulate cover, though, it's a very different story.
In our controlled environments, you're going to see about a 40-degree difference on the inside of an insulated tent versus a non-insulated tent.
Which means when you're out doing this,
oh, there we go,
you don't have to worry about this.
It's a lot warmer back inside that shelter, though.
Obviously, on these cold Minnesota days or even nights, you want to make sure that you're comfortable.
So we say two things. First, thanks, Frabill. And of course, why didn't I think of that first?
This is a brand new one, so you're looking at state-of-the-art.
HCMC experts have some good safety advice for the outdoors. That's next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Yard, premier manufacturers of maintenance-free outdoor patio furniture and accessories from recycled plastic.
Time now for an HCMC safety tip. You know, you read about it all the time when the weather turns cold. Deer camps, ice fishing shacks, something called carbon monoxide poisoning. It's deadly, and here's how to avoid it.
When it's cold out, thousands of us sleep in deer shacks or fish in ice houses. But danger lurks there. Dr. Cheryl Atkinson, the HCMC medical director for the Center of Hyperbaric Medicine, says these shacks can be a setup for something called carbon monoxide poisoning.
Carbon monoxide is a gas. It's a gas that is released when hydrocarbons burn, meaning any fuel that we think of, whether that's gas or natural gas. Wood is a hydrocarbon. Anytime any of those burn, carbon monoxide is released.
When does carbon monoxide become dangerous? Take a look around your deer shack or ice shack.
A closed environment where somebody is trying to heat that, where they're using a different kind of apparatus like ice fishing houses.
So, what are the symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning?
Nausea, headache, a little blurred vision, dizziness. Everybody's getting sick at the same time. The problem is it doesn't in and of itself have any odor. You can't see it.
If you recognize these symptoms, get into fresh air immediately. If the symptoms persist, call for emergency help. When a patient comes into HCMC with carbon monoxide poisoning, they are treated in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber.
And this is a brand new one, so you're looking at state-of-the-art. We fill the chamber with compressed air, so this is air that we would be breathing if we were visiting in here. And the patient then wears a mask that goes over their nose and mouth like this.
The best solution is to take precautions, so no visits to the oxygen chamber will be necessary.
Hi, I'm Rob Teresline, Managing Editor of the Outdoor News Publications. Minnesota's first modern wolf hunting and trapping season ended last month, and the state had no trouble meeting its wolf harvest quota of 400 animals. A portion of the wolf season began with the deer hunt last fall and it ran through early January. The final tally for the 2012-2013 wolf hunt, 413 animals. Gray wolves switched from federal protection to state management last year, and more than 24,000 people applied for 6,000 tags. Now, your odds of getting a wolf permit were very low, but your odds of killing one were even lower. As expected, trappers had more success than hunters. Licensed trapper success was around 24%, while hunters, they had a mere 4% success rate. DNR researchers are still compiling biological data about the season, and those results should be available early this spring. DNR officials aren't totally sure what the 2013-2014 wolf season will look like. It's also unclear if there will be any legislative action this year affecting the future wolf hunt. Recent estimates have put the state wolf population at about 3,000 animals, but the DNR is completing a new wolf population survey this winter. Those survey results, which we should know in a few months, likely will decide the size and scope of the next wolf hunting season. For regular updates on how decisions at the state capitol affect all natural resources management in Minnesota, check out a print edition of Outdoor News or view us online at outdoornews.com. I'm Rob Jerusalem.
Still ahead, our Minnesota-bound classic goes back to Grand Bahama Island, where the living is easy, the bonefish bite, and all is right in the fishing world.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Hennepin County Medical Center, Minnesota Agricultural Water Resources Coalition, Minnesota soybean farmers and their checkoff,
Time now for our Minnesota Bound Classic. You know, if you've never tried to catch a fish called the bonefish, here's a good reason why you should. Bonefish live in paradise, otherwise known as the Bahamas.
A mere 200 miles off the Florida coast is a place called Andros. It's an island, the largest of 700 islands, collectively called the Bahamas. That's Spanish for shallow sea.
Nice incoming tide.
But on Andros, shallow means something else.
I have seen quite a bit of fish. Yeah.
On Andros, the meaning of shallow and fish adds up to bonefish, the ghost of saltwater flat.
Long strip. Set. Okay, just let him run.
All right.
Just let him run.
Your eyes are so much better than mine, but I got a bonefish on. That's all I care about. Yeah,
that's one of the slipper ones.
He's a little smaller, but he's a bonefish.
Yeah.
There you go, boy. Cool.
Only 26 miles away from Nassau, the tourist hotspot in the Bahamas, the island of Andros might just as well be a world away. For the residents of Andros, a way of life changes slowly. Here at the island's only factory, colorful Bahamian shirts are made the old-fashioned way with wax, including shirt designs made from sea sponges and dried by sea air.
Okay, go for it. Take it to the fish. Take it right up to the fish.
In the next instant,
you.
A 3-pounder was taking it to me.
All right.
Just hold your tip high. Keep your tip in the air, right? Must be his little brother.
Yeah, he doesn't quite have the shoulders on it. Come on. Perfect. That's it.
That's the problem with bonefish.
That was nice.
When it's nice, you want more.
Oh, he's got shoulders.
That's all it takes, just that one bonefish. Oh yeah. I have guys came now, never saw them before, you know, until they really hooked it, felt the weight of it, the fight of it. Hey, they want to do it over and over again.
It's like waiting for dynamite to go off.
Oh, the joy of seeking bonefish, adrift above a living sea.
There's a ray over there.
A sea world where the dots connect.
The bonefish usually travels along with those rays because by swimming, they just stirs up the bottom and just kicks up a lot of feed. So you'll find the bonefish traveling really with those rays.
And when the sea changes, the connecting dots do too.
Okay, they're moving back to the right. Strip it, strip it. Come on, fish. Okay, he's gone.
Oh, bonefish, how about biting a shrimp fly? It's delicious. Oh, come on, give it a try. You're the ghost of the flat, and so spooky I dread that the best way to catch you is forget angling pride.
Here, fishy, fishy.
Simply just beg.
Come on, fishy. Hey, man, it's just fishing, man.
Many fond memories of my bone fishing days down there in a place called Paradise. Well, that about does it for us. Remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors. I'm Ron Sharon, of course, always the star of the show. You're paying attention, right? Is Raven.
Guests appearing on Minnesota Bound receive gift certificates to Crave Restaurants. Fresh, vibrant, American. Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. For more information on these stories and more, catch us on the web at mnbound.com.